Galalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Quadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruwell. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing this word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Barakatah. Today's lesson, the wicked experiments. And here we have an article from foxnews.com that says 10 million in taxpayer funds spent creating transgender animals. Republican Nancy Massey. And it further goes on to say, White Coat Waste Project exposes misuse of taxpayer dollars. Last year, 10 million in taxpayer money was spent creating transgender animals. A study by the White Coat Waste Project revealed. Republican Nancy Massey, RSC, laid out the misuse of taxpayer money funding gender-affirming care for animals during opening remarks at a subcommittee hearing on Thursday. The hearing, Transgender Lab Rats and Poisoned Puppies, Oversight of Taxpayer-Funded Animal Cruelty, featured a witness from the White Coat Waste Project. It says last year the White Coat Waste Project exposed more than 10 million in taxpayer funds that were spent creating transgender mice, rats, and monkeys. Massey said, "Your taxpayer dollars hard at work." These DEI grants funded painful and deadly transgender experiments that forced lab animals to undergo invasive surgeries and hormone therapies at universities across the country. And there you have it. They're all in on it. And when it comes to this wicked kingdom on earth, everything is being searched out and exposed. Even those of their very own race are exposing their wicked acts.
Thank you. I would now like to recognize Mr. Crane for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Chairwoman, for holding this hearing today. Thank you guys for showing up. It was just yesterday in an oversight hearing that I asked Chairman Comer if we could get some therapy dogs up here because of some of the meltdowns that were going on. I had no idea I'd walk into this hearing today and see three beautiful beagle puppies, and I've noticed that my mood's already improved, so thank you guys for bringing them there. I think we should make it mandatory. We also talked about in the Oversight Committee hearing yesterday that some of the ridiculous programs and initiatives that need to be cut from our bloated government. And it seems like a lot of these studies are just another example of our senseless, out-of-control spending by bureaucrats who never really get held accountable. I want to start with you, Mr. Goodman. You said you have estimated over $20 billion in taxpayer money wasted on ineffective animal research. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Wow. Mr. Goodman, did you also say that it was your estimation that $241 million was spent for transgender animal testing?
Yes, and that's, I would say, is the floor, not the ceiling, because the information on federal databases is pretty incomplete.
So you think we're going to find out that it was much more money than that for
yes,
transgender animal testing?
Yes.
Can you describe what exactly the American people's taxpayer dollars were spent on regarding transgender animal testing?
Yeah, in a lot of these cases, they're involve mice, rats, monkeys who are being surgically mutilated and subjected to hormone therapies to mimic female to male or male to female gender transitions, gender-affirming hormone therapies, and then looking at the biological, psychological, and physiological effects of the gender transitions, looking at the effects of taking vaccines after you've transition these animals from male to female or female to male, looking at the size of their genitals changing after you've put them on estrogen or testosterone therapies to transition them. And in the case that the chairwoman, the example the chairwoman gave, there was a $1.1 million grant to give female lab rats testosterone to mimic transgender male humans and then overdose them with this party drug to see if animals who were taking female animals taking testosterone were more likely to overdose on the sex party drug than animals who were not taking testosterone.
Mr. Goodman, are many of these taxpayer-funded animal studies shared with the public, or is there a significant oversight of this research?
You essentially needed a degree in information technology to navigate the federal spending databases to find any of this stuff.
So what you found is we're not being very transparent with what we're spending these funds on?
Not at all, and it's by design.
Did you say that Dr. Fauci, in your estimation, had funded close to 95% of these animal research projects?
Yeah, in our analysis, Dr. Fauci funded about 95% of the transgender animal experiments.
Okay, I found in some research that the EPA under President Trump is planning to reduce the agency's animal testing by 30% by 2025 and completely by 2035. Mr. Goodman, can you explain why that's a win for the American taxpayer?
Absolutely. Animal testing is incredibly time-intensive, inaccurate, and expensive, and it's not very good at predicting the human health effects or environmental effects of chemicals and pesticides. And right now, what we are doing to test human effects is poisoning lab animals, forcing them to breathe wildfire smoke simulated in a laboratory by burning different types of foliage and pumping into animals' cages, making them obese to simulate what it would be like for obese people to be exposed to wildfire smoke, shooting off handguns and rifles and forcing animals to breathe the emissions and gun control experiments, and the list goes on. And that's what's happening currently at the EPA after the Biden administration overturned the Trump plan to phase out animal testing.
Mr. Goodman, one more question. You've also been outspoken about the COVID-19 outbreak stemming from Dr. Fauci's U.S.-funded research at China's Wuhan lab. What are the public health risks if we continue some of these outrageous animal studies?
We're flirting with disaster if we continue to fund dangerous virus research, both abroad, like in Colorado, where Fauci greenlit this bat lab. They're trying to import hundreds of bats from Asia to build a new lab in Colorado to do virus experiments with Ebola, Nipah, Lassa, deadly viruses for which there's no cure. It's just a matter of time before we have another pandemic on our hands if we let mad scientists run amok with our money.
Thank you. I yield back.
All right. I will now yield 5 minutes to Mr. Burleson.
Here we have the scripture of Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Esau represents the so-called white race, the Edomites. And we are living in a time where Esau, Edom, is still being revealed as the wicked of the earth. That's why they are looking to get rid of these major online platforms. Once the internet is removed, that will issue in the famine of the word, just as it says in the scripture of Amos 8:11 and 12. But these biblical scriptures have prophesied that the wicked will be revealed. With that being said, let's go over to the scripture of 2 Thessalonians 2:8. Second Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And these biblical scriptures have prophesied that the wicked will be revealed. This biblical word is truly accurate on what it says. And they are being revealed. Esau, Edom is the wicked according to the scripture of Malachi 1:4. And they continue to be revealed as the wicked of the earth. The spirit of his mouth are the prophets speaking this biblical truth. The Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, speaks through the mouth of the prophets according to the scripture of Hebrews 1:1 and Luke 1:70. Now when it says shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, that speaks of the Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, returning with his angelic armies and with his chariots, aka UFOs, in order to destroy this wicked society. The Lord Yahweh HaMashiach shall remove the wicked of the earth along with these mad scientists from power, because the scripture of Matthew 24 and 22 has said, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. And the scripture of Matthew 24 and 22 also has to do with these damn GMO foods that they also push. When it comes to these mad scientists, they want to justify the means, right? Because Edom thinks he's God. That's the reason why they claim that the animals help advance scientific understanding and serve as models to study disease, and helps them to develop and to test potential new medicines and therapies. Yeah, on that wicked left-hand side. When it comes to animal research, there are always problems due to the inherent differences between animals and humans. What don't you get when it comes to that? Drugs and procedures that work in animals often end up failing in humans. And when it comes to our Heavenly Creator, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, He already gave you the biblical layout on all things. But let's go over to the scripture of Sirach 38 and 4. Here we have Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 38 and 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. That's right. The Lord Yahweh Yahushai created the body, and with that creation came the immune system that is more than capable to fight off infection and disease. It has a number of ways to detect and destroy anything it recognizes as foreign to your body, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, or unhealthy cells such as cancer cells. Plus, as an addition, the Lord Yahweh Yahushua has created the medicines out of the earth in order for us to heal ourselves. But when it comes to the wicked of the earth, they have a totally different agenda. The prophets knew of the medicines of the earth, and they also knew how to heal themselves. We are not to abhor those medicines that grow out of the earth. And when it comes to these doctors, they know what they know due to the many contributions that the Native American Indians have given them when it comes to medicine. The word abhor meaning to regard with extreme repugnance, detest, utterly disgust, and hatred. So in other words, he that is wise will not abhor them. And when it comes to healing, these doctors are not good at healing. They are only good at trauma. The problem is that these Edomite pharmaceutical companies have taken over and corrupted the medicines of the earth by adding harmful chemicals and animal DNA unto those natural medicines of the Lord Yahweh Yahushai for the sole purpose of monetary corporate greed and population control. The problem is that these mad scientists want to play the role of God and cure everything with a damn pill. And they always have an answer for everything. Right, because they think that they're God, and they're not. That's why the Lord's going to say, is this the man? Right now, you have farm animals such as cows, sheep, and goats being genetically engineered to produce drugs and proteins in medicine. Like I said, on that left-hand side of wickedness. But when it comes to these lab animals, upon this Google article, it is estimated that more than 150 million animals worldwide are used in laboratory experiments every year. The wicked will continue to be the wicked. But because only a small proportion of countries collect and publish data concerning animal use for testing and research, the precise number is unknown. So the numbers could be higher. Right, because they don't want you to know of the cruelty that goes on. Right, just call it taxpayer-funded animal cruelty, as they said. Because that's the damn truth. And when it comes to these animals in laboratories, they are involuntarily placed in artificial environments, usually in windowless rooms for the duration of their lives. That's why this article also says experimenters push monkey species to the brink of extinction. And when it comes to animal experimentation, it has pushed 2 species of monkeys to the brink of extinction according to this article that you see here. The long-tailed macaques and the pigtailed macaques have gone from vulnerable to endangered. Remember that over 150 million animals are used yearly in experimentation. And when it comes to these animals in laboratories, they are involuntarily placed in artificial environments, usually in windowless rooms for the duration of their lives. And do not be surprised if the same ill treatment is done unto thee. That's why the scripture of Obadiah 1:15 says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head," right up, upon thine own pate. So the Lord or the men of the Lord could very well put these mad scientists in cages and put upon the minds of the animals to patrol those cages. Nothing is impossible for the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Nothing is impossible for the Lord. In these latter days, the truth is being revealed at an alarming rate and will continue to be revealed. And the Lord will bring that gene farming of these wicked mad scientists to an end. Right now, you are noticing that they are all coming against each other. And biblical scripture has said that they will make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, according to the scripture of Psalm 64:8. Psalm 64:8. "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." And they are making their own tongues to fall upon themselves by revealing the things that were made to stay hidden. The truth is being revealed on all levels.
And here we have a scripture that says it all. Proverbs 29:2. "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." That's right. And that's why you're seeing all kinds of problems. Now, the righteous to come in authority, that speaks of the nation of Israel under the Lord Yahweh, Yahushai's righteous rulership. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And the reason why the people of the earth are currently in mourning is due to the wicked rule of Edom on earth. The righteous represents so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and the wicked represents Edom.
Ecclesiasticus 10:8. "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by the sea, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." And that is plain. Even the inventions of the Israelites were robbed in deception. And in that deception, they slapped a label on their inventions and made millions in the process. Here we have 2 Esdras 6:9. "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Esau represents the true wicked of the earth, and Jacob represents the righteous that is next in line to rule. The scripture of 2 Esdras 6:9 proves that the Edomites of Esau have not been done away with, due to the fact that this is a future prophecy waiting to happen. Israelites consisting of so-called Negro, Latino, Taino, and Native American Indian ancestry shall rule the earth in absolute righteousness, and they shall also venture into outer space to visit the other mansions, which speaks about the planets. The best is yet to come for the nation of Israel, but first Israel shall go through great tribulation. But with that being said, Kal Olam Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Brakta.